So first, Harry Potter is a book that fulfills the fantasy I had in my childhood. Flying on a broom, magic is the coolest thing I have ever seen when I was a child. Childhood is so beautiful, and Harry Potter is a book that accompanied me in my childhood. It also presented me to the basic idea of good and evil, and how people will do anything to reach their brightness in their heart, even sacrificing themselves for the greater good they believed in. Next, "fu", which is the most common word in Chinese culture. My mother writes "fu" on the poster and hand out in the interest to wish us good luck in the new year. And when I first see "fu", I asked her my mom what does it mean, and she told me that it represents the blessing and good luck. As a small kid like me, family is everything, which is I feel a great connection with the word "fu", because I want to bring good luck for my family forever. And then that's also the reason why I dress up in a Chinese garment with "fu" on it in a formal dinner. Robinson Crusoe, which is a book that I read in a primary school, and it is a novel talks about Robinson's incredible adventure in an island by himself. Through reading this book, I progressively understand the meaning of bravery. It teaches me that whenever I encounter with a predicament, do not scare or shrink back that difficulty. Be brave, strong, and confident. Thus, you might have the chance to defeat it. In my life, when I first go into ski, I'm really afraid of height. The slope of the snow seemed to be 30 degrees, and I'm always wondering if I can go on the trail. But the story of Robinson Crusoe inspired me. I understand that everything is possible unless you do not try for it. And finally, I successfully passed this trail, which seemed to be very hard at first. After that, Charlotte's Web, it is a book that talks about a lovely story with a spider and a pig. This is the most memorable book I remember. Through reading this book, I saw the most sincere friendship in the book. It planted love and warmth in my childhood, and I learned how I should foster a relationship with my friend and treat others well. 3 Days to See is a book that talks about Helen Keller, who had become blind and deaf, and how she lived with her entire life. It impressed me a lot. Her dream is to see and hear the world, which is a common thing I can do, but it is impossible for them. Through reading this book, I learned I have to cherish the world, to cherish everything that surrounded me and feel the happiness that happened around me. Also, maybe some days I will become blind and deaf too, but as long as I still make effort and cherish, the world still can be gorgeous. Doraemon is the most interesting book I have ever read. In the book, it tells me the true meaning of growing up. Growing up is not only physically become mature, but mentally too. In the process of growing up, there will be so many obstacles that will hinder my way of moving on. The book teaches me that I should cope with the difficulty by myself, but not dependent on my parents or to others to find the solution of this predicament. When I can cope with all of the difficulty, and that's the time I truly growing up. Looking for Alaska, which plays a special important role in my life. When I was in primary school, I was always thinking when I can fully understand and read an English book. I always trying to memorize and learn new vocabulary to improve my English skills. And this is a book in English that I first finished. It is among one of my dreams. Maybe it is very common for others, but it witnessed my progress in English and it proves me my strong effort to learn English is not pointless, and that's why I will remember this book for my entire life. Analyze is a book that tells me how to behave right and properly to be a good person. There's one quote I always keep that in my mind. In Analyze, it says, "A man is worthy of being a teacher who gets to know what is new by keep fresh in his mind what he is already familiar with." It helped me a lot in my academic performance. I will review the knowledge I study every day and try to gain another new understanding or using another perspective to think the question. It always helped me to get a good score on the test and quiz. The last one is the most special one I want to talk about. Is Beijing International Airport. Airport is a place where separations and reunions happen at the same time. I'm always in a group of separation when I leave my home for school year. This is not a common experience for a high school boy like me, flying back and forth between China and America, not seeing my parents for most of the year. Whenever I see the sign stating Beijing International Airport, I feel bitter and sad in my heart. Though along with the sadness, I gradually become stronger and completing myself into an independent person.